You guys, I was telling Lizzie and Lisa this yesterday, and I just did a post. I have seen my dark age spot right here completely almost go away. I mean, you can slightly see it. It was so much darker. So, just having a little celebration of skincare transformation. I think it's so good though to talk about it because when you actually see it in yourself, like Lisa always posts before and after, and I'm always like, wow, like it is powerful. So telling you guys his own stories, encourage you to do that. All right, so corporate gifting, incredible opportunity. Jess, I'm just going to mute you, so just know that if you need to be unmuted, click it. Corporate gifting is an amazing opportunity to strategically partner with companies. So I wanted to just walk through some really specific steps that I want us to approach this with, because if we just start, picking up and dialing for dollars, we probably won't see the results that we want. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, who do we go to? Who do we approach for these partnerships? And it's truly going to be based on relationships. So this is where I think going to brainstorm around people in your own life that have corporate jobs that you could approach and make asks around. Of course, starting with your own relationships. And that's what I posted on the chat yesterday was Stephanie just going to her own dentist and having a really great response. So I think we should just take like a few minutes writing down, and you guys have probably already done this work as the people that are on this call, but maybe we can, instead of doing it, you guys can just unmute and share who you're thinking, and then share where you're at with like roadblocks. Because I think, again, the point of this time is 30 minutes of actually working, and I don't want to just be talking at you. Let's talk about like specific issues that you've run into or roadblocks that you're experiencing, so that we can just like navigate those together. So your two lists that I want you to write out are personal people that you have that you can reach out to. So your dentist, your orthodontist, your nutritionist, different relationships like that. And then the next layer, what we've been talking about as a leadership group is, if you don't know those people, you know someone that knows those people. We all have someone in our lives that just knows everyone, and going to them to ask for a referral is going to be the most powerful. So we're all in the midst of a lot going on, but maybe you guys can just unmute quickly and just share who you're thinking.
I'm going to unmute, and I want to just be like honest about roadblocks, because I'm already feeling it just even thinking about this. So last year I like went all in to try and do corporate gifting, and I made like a big long list. I sent out all my emails. I tried to do follow-ups and like got 0. So now I feel like this year it's like, do I go back through and try and reach out to those same people again, even though like they had no activity?
So no, I don't think you should. What's coming to my mind with you, Rachel, and this is where I have given a few other people this idea, is if you don't have, a really solid relationship with someone, then going to the person that does, asking them to introduce you.
Okay.
So do you have anyone in your life that has a great connection that would make that relationship, connection for you?
Well, last year, the only person that I really have that I feel like I have is my mom. She's a real estate agent. And so her office, she doesn't actually sell real estate. She is a licensed agent, but she works for a team as their like office person and does all of their like behind the scenes stuff. And I reached out to her about it and their team, and they were like, I don't know. And that was like it. And so I feel like that's what I have.
Yep. And so what I would say there is like, we're all not going to get 10 companies that agree to do this. We might be lucky to get one. So let's level set on expectations. Okay. So if your mom is your best lead, what you need to do is just to get her to get you access. And so going to them, and this is where verbiage is so important, going to your mom and saying, hey, can I come in and, you know, present all the product and holiday? You probably are going to get that same response again. So instead of that, what if you said, hey, I know you guys have a lot coming up. Can I bring a bottle? I don't know if their office is like this. My real estate's office is like this. Can I bring some mimosas in and talk to you guys about upcoming fun holiday things that I have coming down the pike?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Okay.
what you want is to just her to, she has to go to bat for you. That's the thing. It's like she has to get that time and say, hey, if you guys have a lunch hour, that I could come in and just do a quick connect, and just share about stuff that we have going on with Beauty Counter. Do you have 10, do you know, you think you can get me in there for 10 minutes?
Okay.
Does that sound a little different than what maybe
Yeah.
you asked her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so try that.
Okay.
Do you have anyone else on your list that you think you could make an ask to?
Well, my dentist office was the other one that I did last year. And I actually, it was funny because like right as holiday sets released, I had a dentist appointment. And so I brought in samples for both the front desk girls and my hygienist. And I like talked to them about Beauty Counter a little bit. And Alexis, who's like the main front desk person there, actually knows Josh pretty well. And so I was like, I'm going to send you an email with some like really cool sets that would be great to gift to the office. And I actually am close with my dentist as well. He's my in-laws neighbor. And they like have two girls and they gave us all of their kids' clothes. Like they give us their clothes every year.
Yeah.
So I thought that that would be a really good in too. Cause I'm like, I know them really well. So I'm just wondering, like, now that you're saying it, I'm like, I'm wondering if I just didn't approach it correctly. Like, because I was like, send you an email with some information. Like I should have just probably brought it in and been like, here.
Exactly. So that kind of takes us all, and Jess, I want to hear yours, but I'm going to go kind of on to the next pieces. We need to get in front of people. Like we want to actually set time to go in front of them. And so instead of just going into like, here's some samples and I'm going to call you and send an email, like that's not going to get us anywhere. But if we can say, hey, I'm not sure if you've, you know, made plans for your corporate gifting, but at my appointment, I'm going to bring in some awesome options, no matter what your budget is. So giving people like this, like we have a great wide budget. It's not like we're going to say everyone has to buy $100 gift set. So I think if we can ask for an appointment to get stuff in front of people, that's going to get us a lot further. So Jess, do you have anyone in mind?
Yes, I have a few people who are just very well connected. Some previous coworkers, which I definitely know how that office situation is, and they can probably use some gifting. But I don't have a ton of like those kind of connections, but I know quite a few people that have those connections. And also my husband's office, I did samples for them before. Absolutely need to get in front of them because every single one of them, I think if I would have had 30 minutes there, I'd have had orders, but I knew it was going to be just a quick drop off, just like chat with people. But if I bring mimosas up there, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So that's exactly what I think the overarching thing, and Tasha, just to get you up to speed, we're talking about relationships and connections that you have. Instead of sending just an email, you know, or very neutral outreach, we're talking about asking people to, hey, can I come in for 5 minutes and get in front of people? Can I bring in a bottle of champagne and mimosas during lunch? You know, some offices are into that, some are not. Obviously, you have to be sensitive. Like, can I bring coffee in? Go grab a big thing of Starbucks coffee and bring that in during a lunch hour, and offering to bring in 2 to 3 sets that people can look at for, you know, Jessica might be talking a little bit more self-purchase, but this whole corporate piece of when I'm done, we can have a snack.
Can I just grab a snack?
Yes, you can. So the biggest takeaway here, you guys, is use your relationship. So have them get in front of it for you and just say, hey, could you send an initial connection? Yeah. Introducing me. And then we completely take control and say, can I pop in for 5 minutes and just share a little bit more of how I can take holiday gifting off your plate and offer this service? So that kind of goes into the next thing, is getting them in person piece there, and then going to them with with the sets in person and offering different options. And so this is how talking about the service that you can offer them will be much more attractive than just saying, oh, you know, I want to order holiday sets for you to send out for Christmas gifts. It's going to them and saying, you know, with the purchase of 10 or more sets, I can offer this gift package, you know, option of wrapping it, adding a holiday card on top, delivering it to your office during, you know, whatever time frame you need. So you know, this is something that is a bigger picture than just, oh, someone's going to order 2 or 3. That's not where we're going for here. We're going for like 10 or more, or, you know, different options so that people, you know, it's worth your time. You know, that's where that's going to be super important. So maybe it's putting a holiday card on top and tying a little mini bottle of champagne and doing it really cute. So that's the type of thing where kind of Fallon was talking about of she went to her boss and cast the vision of how she can take this off of her plate, make it really special, and offer her a service by doing that. So this is where taking some of the photos of all the assets that are on behind the counter of packages that are already gift wrap, you know, just a ribbon. That's all I'm talking about. Not actually wrapping it in paper, but you know, doing a package together with the Christmas card, a little bottle of champagne and a ribbon wrapped around the top, showing a picture of that and showing them like, hey, I'd love to do this for you and make it really easy. So having a few different options based on price point, and that's where you should lead with that. Tell me what your budget is. Do you have a budget for your staff? Do you have a budget also for maybe top customers? That's a big thing in a lot of companies during holiday is offering gifts to customers. So ask those 2 different questions. Have you considered, you know, what you're doing for those 2 different avenues? I'm happy to help with either of them. Maybe the staff gift is smaller, but they're doing bigger things for customers. So you can show them, hey, here's some great, you know, men and female gender options for, you know, different people in your workplace. What thoughts do you guys have on that, or what's going through your head?
Can I share something real quick? This is what I ran into the last like 2 years that I've made asks of people. Most people, when I ask, they say like, okay, that sounds great, but I just give cash. I can't tell you how many people like, we just do cash. So my take was always to be like, okay, like, great. We like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, why not stick a hand cream or a lip gloss with the cash, right? Or like, you can still do something without going all in. So I would say that's like my biggest roadblock is just people being like, nope, we just do cash. I think I got that like 9 out of 10 times. And so is that an appropriate thing to come back with? Because I've tried that. And just trying to like pivot, right? Because like, I don't know, I'm not going to change your gifting if that's what you're doing, but how can I still partner with you to do something extra, like attach a lip gloss on top of the cash? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just what
I just think we're not all of us are going to see results from this approach, but if we can, it can be really big. And so I think it goes to what was your initial ask in the beginning? And did someone, you know, kind of go to bat for you? What kind of relationships did we use to get us in the door? And then if someone just says, oh, this is what I do, then all you can offer back is, well, here's the difference of offering a more personalized gift. And of course, you're not combating like what they want to do, but you can just cast vision for how much more special it is to get a gift than just get it cash. And, you know, just gracefully offer that. And if it's just a hard no, then we got to just move on. I mean,
I think it's a lot like recruiting. Like it's
totally.
You're not going to get yeses every time, but you got to make the ask. So like, yep, 100%. I've got a huge list of people. Most will probably say no, but even if 1 or 2, like Fallon had, that was huge. One yes was like massive. So you just gotta.
And I think it's like the people that we have the best relationships with, can we get a win from them? And if we can, let's go to town and maximize it by always keeping control. And that was going to be the next thing that I share with you guys is, you know, an example for Stephanie yesterday, when she sent that text message off, her response, which I would expect a lot of us will get if we do get a positive response, was, Great. I'm going to start looking on the website. I'll let you know what I decide. Not control was just taken from her. So I immediately went to her and said, this is an incredible positive response, but we need the ball back in our court by taking control and start asking questions. And so if you get someone that says, yeah, I'll go take a look, send me your link or send me a picture. Here are the questions that I want you guys to go back to them and ask. So again, you can take the control back. So I said to her, how many people are you gifting? So that's a simple thing. Just say, incredible. I'm so glad you're interested. How many people are you normally gifting? How many staff and how many top customers? So again, you're taking the control back. Do you have a budget in mind? So what have you considered about what your spend is or your budget is? This is a great question to ask. This is something that you're just going to help you give them what they need versus just kind of off the cuff, not anything relevant. You can ask like men versus women. Again, we kind of want to know that. It's going to be, if we pass the little makeup palette, not going to be relevant. And then asking the question of, are you looking for a curated package with a few different options or something more simple? So a curated package meaning, okay, I've got the hand cream set with the lip gloss on top, tie the lip gloss on top. And that's where you can buy multiple things and break things apart for them and package it up really nicely and offer them that option. So those three things is, again, instead of just people willy-nilly going off to look online, you take the control back and you're able to offer the service. And that's the whole point of corporate gifting, is that we're offering them a service and that it's going to be so much more beneficial for them and they're going to get this awesome experience. But we're going to work for those bigger ticket items, right? These are we're hoping to see 20, 30 sets ordered and then packaged up for them and sent off. And then the last thing here is follow-up is everything. So again, getting a response like, great, I'm going to take a look. Following up with them with some of these questions is what's going to keep the conversation going. So you're not just sending, hey, wanted to follow up with you and see how looking on the website was. No, you want to follow up with, hey, I was thinking about this partnership, wanted to ask a few more questions. So you're just engaging them. We know it's follow-up, but you want to re-engage the conversation, and you could ask any of those three questions to kind of gain the control back and be able to move forward with the gifting. So, Tasha, I know you have your screen off, but maybe it would be great. Do you have any leads or people that you're thinking about, and we can kind of help you navigate conversations?
Sorry, I'm just chasing around a toddler.
Totally fine.
Yeah, so we have some good family friends that both of them work at our dentist office that we all go to as a family. So I was actually going to reach out to them because they're like managers of the office. So I was thinking that might help. So I was going to target them and see if I can, start a conversation about that. But for
how would you reach out to them? What's like a normal way of communication for you?
Oh, I have their phone numbers. So I was just going to contact them and text them and see if they would be interested. And we do live close. So if they did, then I would just say, let's meet up for coffee or something. And I'll bring the sets and we can go over them together and see if that would be something that your office or your dentist would be interested in gifting. Cause they have a ton of hygienists and office staff. So I think that might be a cool way to gift for
Absolutely.
them.
One thing that Tasha just brought up that we didn't touch on was talking to the decision maker. So I think that's really smart. It sounds like in this point, your office manager would be someone, this relationship that you have is someone that's probably going to take that off their plate. Of course, they would get their boss's approval, but finding the person that's in charge of corporate gifting. So maybe, of course, you're going to initially reach out to get the yes from the, point person, but then you can say, hey, I'd love for you to connect me. Who normally manages your holiday gifting? I'd be happy to connect with them and kind of talk through next steps. So, and then the other thing I really liked that you said was getting together in person. So making sure like you guys are just making these like, and don't say, hey, I'll, come over for an hour. It's like, do you have 5 minutes? I could stop by and just show you what these options are and how I can, serve you during the holiday season.
Mhm.
Okay. Lindsay and Lisa, do you guys have any other questions or thoughts? Kind of where you're at? I know Lindsay, you shared.
No, I would just have the people on my list, that I think that I haven't asked yet before in a previous year is some of my girlfriends that are customers that are also real estate agents, and
Yeah.
seeing if they have any top customers, I don't know, is that like a normal thing for real estate agents to do?
Yeah.
in
And
this
I
day
think
and
that
age? I don't.
closing baskets, like
Yeah,
the
well, yes,
closing day,
Lindsay,
Yes.
my mom's office does that. That's actually why I reached out to them last year, is not to gift each other, right? But they do a Christmas like breakfast every year, and they give gifts. Like they have like all kinds of toys for all the kids, but they also have adult gifts. And so that's what I had reached out about, is like, hey, could we, partner and add some beauty counter to your thing? But then ended up not really having their event last year because of COVID. So that was one thing that was like why they were like, I don't know. So I think I really like Lauren's idea of getting in person and doing it, because I think that'll help a lot. But I do think that's normal for real estate agents to gift like their top customers.
Yeah. I
I
totally
also think we need to really lean into the fact that we have the breast cancer prevention month, and then how the holiday sets are being donated to Becca. Like, obviously that feels kind of, I don't know. There's a piece of it that's like, oh, I don't want to sell, I don't want to like promote that because it feels icky, but at the same time, it's the reality of things. And that's what our team is doing. So I think if you can find a company who wants to support that, like what a great way for them to gift their customers, their people, and then also be donating to a cause.
And I think this is in how you speak to it. And so what
Totally.
I would kind of share is, I would do the normal conversation, everything we just talked through, and then just end with that. I would say, what's really incredible about, again, the mission of Beauty Counter, but also the culture of our team is that you supporting and purchasing these, we're actually donating a significant amount of money to a woman on our team that is fighting breast cancer right now. And that is what you can also know in supporting this brand, is we have a lot of bigger missions. So you can kind of use that as like a, end conclusion, and building their confidence in what they're doing and all the benefit that it's, serving.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then Jess, I feel like we kind of quickly went over what your options are, but I think reaching out to your husband and having like a set time to go into their office, because I did that. So Jaden, my husband, works in a WeWork building, and I just went in there and set up shop, and I had so many sales from selling to all of his coworkers. So I think that's an incredible idea, like just to kind of affirm what you were thinking there. But then also kind of layer on like the corporate gifting thing. Do you have other people you're kind of thinking to approach that?
Yeah, after hearing the real estate piece, our realtor, our next door neighbor actually works for our realtor. So I've got 2 connections there.
Yes.
For sure. I think that's a good one.
Yep. And so it's just saying like, hey, I want to show you some options of, closing day gifts or holiday gifts for best customers. And again, you guys, it's presenting all the things like, I want to package this for you. I know how busy you are. You're crazy. Like, I know you do closing day gift baskets, but I could take that off your plate and get it all ready to go and just drop it by your door. So again, always lead with like how you can serve them and take this off their plate to, make their life easier. Okay. All right. Well, biggest thing, use your relationships, get them to introduce you, getting time in person, making it easy, simple, taking control by offering different options, and then asking questions. Always hold the ball in your court by saying, okay, how many people are you thinking? What's your budget? Here are the different services I can offer you. Again, like people in a business mindset, the service piece is going to be huge to them, and then getting to the decision maker. So maybe you need to get a yes from the main, broker, but then is it the real estate agent that's going to be, handling the details of it? So making sure that you guys are connecting with the right people, and always keeping the ball in your court, and just knowing that follow-up is going to be everything. And the action on this is this week. These people are going to be making decisions and planning this out. They already have money set aside. So we're just trying to find, like, where is that money? And here's why, you should use us and the service that we can offer you and this incredible product, to make their life easier during crazy Christmas. So thank you guys for jumping on. Any other last questions or thoughts before we jump off? As you guys send out messages and texts, will you guys share them? Because I think, and even like yesterday, Stephanie was like, here's what I'm thinking of saying. How do you think this sounds? This is Rachel and I's new go-to thing, which I'm obsessed with. Like, she's got leads and we're just texting back and forth of ideas of how to approach things. It is my greatest joy. So if you have a lead, write up an idea of what you're thinking of saying and send it to me. I love to edit and add kind of some different approaches. So I'm here to help you guys with that. And it's also super beneficial for the team to see different examples of verbiage. So, okay, good luck. Keep me posted on any wins. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.